Welcome guys to another video, and today we're here to talk all about mixed reality on the Oculus Quest 3 and me giving you my full review of where mixed reality is today and my full thoughts on it now that I've been playing with it for the last couple weeks. I even brought the Oculus Quest 3 and showed it off to my family, and we played a bunch of mixed reality experiences as well. And now I've had a lot of time to digest that and see my family's reactions to it, see all my reactions as I play different games and all the updates that we've gotten. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
So of course I want to start off this video by talking about the game that everyone has tried first, and that is First Encounters, the mixed reality experience that comes free with the Meta Quest 3, and talk about, me playing it and then showing it off to my family and stuff like that and what they thought of it. So when it comes to me, that's kind of the first thing that kind of blew my mind as far as mixed reality, because I always knew what mixed reality was. It's obviously AR objects, or objects that feel like they're in your real world, but they're actually not there. So when I first played First Encounters and I'm looking around my room and I'm seeing everything mapped out where the characters are actually jumping from the actual wall and the spaceship is landing from my ceiling to the bottom. What I wasn't really prepared for in this demo is how realistic everything was as far as where the placement was. Because obviously mixed reality, if you don't have it perfectly mapped out to your room, in other words, like the cracks on the wall coming from my ceiling and the spaceship coming and sitting on my floor, if that stuff wasn't perfect, like if the spaceship was floating in midair even though it should have been on the floor, or if the cracks on the ceiling didn't actually show on my ceiling but it showed like a little bit of separation and you can still see your ceiling behind it, or if your windows weren't perfectly mapped, or whatever the case may be, it breaks the illusion and it breaks the fun factor of it, and it's not as cool anymore. And that's the first thing that impressed me. And of course, that's all due to the fact of the new depth sensor that's sitting on the front of the Oculus Quest 3. But it was still really impressive to see it in action, and the gameplay demo showed off, what the capabilities were of this thing in that sense, and just a really fun, quirky arcade game to play. And that's what my impressions were. And then I showed this game off to my family, who have never really obviously seen anything mixed reality except for the stuff I showed them, and they were also really blown away of how everything looked like it was coming out of the ceiling, and they were shooting the critters that looked like they were coming, and they were shooting the walls, and they were like, wow, it looks like you can actually see past the window and you're actually seeing the virtual world when you rip apart your actual environment, and it just looked really cool. And a lot of us were really impressed with that game, and that kind of set me off on a mixed reality road when it comes to the Quest 3. And the next game I think a lot of us tried probably after that, because it was the only new game that came out on the store along with the Quest 3, was BAM. And BAM was another one that really impressed me, because you guys know I love local multiplayer stuff on this channel. And BAM was one that I played and instantly caught my attention, because I was like, oh, this is cool, because it's in your environment. And this is another one where it showed the true power of the depth sensor. I put the board game in the front of me, and then I could look underneath it and it would still stay in the exact same place. No matter if I walked around it or went underneath it, it would still stay fixed. It wasn't jittering or anything. It was like the object was really there in my actual home environment, and it's really cool. The gameplay was obviously really fun, playing with other people. And that's the other game that I play with my family. We did local multiplayer with two headsets, because I brought the Quest Pro over and the Quest 3. I let them sit on the Quest 3 and I was on the Quest Pro, and we did the shared space local multiplayer stuff where there was two of us in the room and we were able to, be in the same mixed reality environment. That was super cool. And it kind of shows the future of local multiplayer games, have a really bright future when it comes to mixed reality. A lot of people probably wonder, like, why isn't it cooler to just be in a full VR game to play a local multiplayer game when you're in the same space as opposed to this? Well, I say local multiplayer games, you guys all know the whole point of it and the engagement of it is to be able to be around there and see each other's reactions and be involved and kind of see each other, because that's what local multiplayer is. That's what makes it fun, when you're with each other in the same room. Now, I understand, obviously, you still have a giant headset on you when you're in local multiplayer seeing everybody in pass-through, but it's a much better experience when it comes to certain types of games like BAM is, where I can be around the table and we're all in the same room, and when someone dies, you can see your friend flailing their arms or making these gestures and stuff that you would obviously see them make, and cursing at you or giving you the finger, all the stuff that you usually do when you're competitive with your friends and stuff like that, just having a good time and stuff. And that kind of lends itself to local multiplayer games and this experience, and that's why playing some of these games in pass-through when you're physically in the same space is an awesome experience. And BAM kind of really showed me that with its spatial co-location multiplayer features that it has. And like I said, the gameplay was also a ton of fun. The next thing I tried also in mixed reality that showed me the other side of it was 11 table tennis. And this is one where you guys know I've talked about it on this channel. If you guys have followed me for a while, I had a real table tennis table downstairs, and it took up a ton of room. And then I got into VR, and I started playing 11 table tennis, and it literally made me get rid of that table. I got rid of it, and then I put VR in that space, and I never looked back since. And I don't miss that table at all. I've never cared about it. Being able to go into 11 table tennis and play with anybody online and have access to anybody, and I don't have to worry about somebody coming over to play, is an awesome experience, and the physics are obviously perfect in the game. It's a ton of fun. What this game showed me in mixed reality is how cool it could be to actually have, even though you could play it in virtual reality, you could have the other side of it where this could be actually in your room. So you actually have the table tennis game right here in your room, and it looks like it's in your room again. It has all those depth features and stuff like that. But what lends this to making it cool is that now when I play 11 table tennis, since I can see my environment and pass through, I don't have to worry about hitting the wall anymore for a game like this, or if I'm too far back, or if I'm about to hit anything in my environment or anything, because I can see it. And it makes it feel like I literally have a tennis table at my house again like I used to, because it's literally sitting in my living room, and it's like, oh, this is cool. I feel like I have a table tennis table again like I used to have a few years ago, and now it's in my environment, and now I can just kind of move around freely without having to think about, hey, I'm in VR, I don't want to hit a wall kind of thing. So that's what these games are kind of doing. A VR pool does the same thing from 4 VR pool. There's a pool table in there, and you go on the table and play that. So this is a different kind of mixed reality experience where I think it's cool because it goes in your physical environment, and then you don't have to worry about hitting anything on the outside, and it really makes you feel like, hey, I really do got this virtual object in front of me. The next one I want to talk about is Spire 2 missions. What really sets this one apart, in my opinion, is that it uses your whole entire house. If you map out multiple rooms and stuff, this really makes you feel like you're a spy. You're hiding behind your counters and, you know, trying to take these guys out in stealth just like you do in the real game, but you're using your actual home environment. And this one was an amazing experience to play because it really shows you what you can do when you have a whole house to play with or multiple rooms to play with, and you have a game like this, and it incorporates different things into the game. A really cool, super experience that I had in this game, and I can't wait to dive into it more. I haven't finished all the missions yet. I believe there's 13 mixed reality missions in there, or 26. Now I can't remember if it's 13 or 26, but there's a bunch of missions in there in mixed reality, and I'm having a ton of fun with it. And this is really cool to be able to have these stealth missions literally happening in your actual home over multiple rooms. It's a really cool thing. The next one we got to talk about here is Drop Dead Home Invasion. Now this game actually drops this week, and I can't wait to show you guys a full review on it. But what really sets this game apart is Drop Dead has been around for a while, but the mixed reality mode basically takes your whole entire house, and now you're defending the zombies from coming into your home instead. And it takes your objects that you map. So my windows obviously are boarded up, and you have a door, and you really have a door, and your table like I have here, it was putting the weapons on the table and all that kind of stuff. It was really making me feel like the environment was actually there with me. And it pops up things on your floor. Super amazing experience. It's my favorite mixed reality experience I've had so far in VR, and I showed this one to my family as well. They didn't make it very far because they were all creeped out with the zombies coming out of the window and stuff, but they were super impressed. It's, again, the same thing, the depth sensor where your window actually looks like it's your window. There's no separation when you're looking at it. The zombies look like they're literally coming out of your window, and they're just built into your environment. And it actually had, more gameplay than some of the other mixed reality games where it was some of them were like, hey, I'm just going to play this for a little while, demo it, and go away from it. This is one you could actually continue playing. You get on the leaderboard, you get better scores, you go through different rounds, more enemy types and stuff like that come through your doors. It's a really fun experience. I can't wait to show you guys this week when it comes out officially, because I've been playing it early to kind of showcase it. But this is the one that I've had the most amount of fun with, the one that my family really love, and really shows off the power of this technology. That, hey, you're like, hey, this is really mixing AR with my actual home, and it's amazing to see mixed reality. And we're just at the starting gate with this stuff. Like, this is what the devs are doing right now, right at the starting gate. And this is, like, again, my favorite mixed reality experience I've had so far. Talking about another game here is Cleansheet. Cleansheet was another mixed reality game that I played, and this one was awesome to play in a giant space like my backyard, because you can actually have a soccer goal right behind you, and then you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about height or anything. So I love playing it in my backyard, and I love playing goalie. I played, college hockey, and I was goalie for that, and I played some soccer goalie as well, so it's awesome to play this in VR and have an actual goal behind you, and you can see it in mixed reality. And then when you're outside on grass, It really feels again like you're actually playing on a soccer field because you're sitting on the grass, you're feeling the grass on your feet, the grass is underneath you, but then you got a virtual goal behind you and people are taking shots at you and you're trying to save them and stuff. So again, it lends itself to that mixed reality of it feeling like it's part of your area, but this one's also because since it's a huge goal, you can take it outside. Be careful with your lenses, obviously, so they don't get burned by the sun, but take it out there when it's not really sunny out and stuff, and it's a really cool experience if you're into, playing goalie and stuff. There's a couple games here that really impressed me that I thought were going to be the least impressive things about mixed reality, and that's some of the Amigo and Smash Drums. And the reason that I point to these two games is because when I saw the trailers for these games, and I saw Smash Drums and I saw some of the Amigo and stuff. What I saw in their videos that they were portraying what mixed reality was is that they showed you a wall, one of your walls being taken over by the game, and the music was just coming at you, like the notes were coming at you and stuff, and you just had to hit them as they were coming at you. And I was like, I mean, that's cool, it's coming out of your wall and stuff, but that isn't really as fun as some of the other mixed reality games I just experienced. Even as I'm explaining it to you guys, that doesn't sound as fun as all the other stuff I talked about. But what I didn't anticipate is when you go in there, it wasn't just going to be things coming out of that one wall like their videos kind of made it seem like, but your whole environment was literally going to be mixed in. So you're playing a true mixed reality mode. And I'm going to give you guys the example of some of the Amigo. While you're in there, yes, the notes come out of your wall while you're hitting it, but you have all the some of the Amigo characters dancing around your floor. So when you look around your floor, all the characters are there with you. And then as you're hitting notes, things are sparkling around your room. And as the song progresses and stuff, the whole entire room that you're in turns purple and starts vibing to the music and stuff, really making you feel. You got digital objects like stereos and stuff like that and speakers sitting on your floor. Really makes you feel like you're in an immersive environment that's really in your house and you have all these 3D objects. So that one was really cool. And then Smash Drums was awesome because it was the same exact idea. I was like, oh, you're just going to have the drums coming at you while you're sitting here. I almost didn't play it because I never even played Smash Drums before. And then I was like, no, I'm going to give this a chance because why not? And it's really, really good. Not only is the game a ton of fun, but the mixed reality mode, again, it's not just the notes coming at you, even though it looks really cool, but they have like the screen coming at you and it kind of like portrays from the corners and stuff, which is really cool. That kind of takes it over. And then you also have when the song starts, your walls are crumbling, like the ceiling and stuff are all crumbling down. You got some like water coming down or the breakage of the walls coming through the ceiling and stuff right before the song starts, which is an awesome experience. And then you have, different things going on with the effects and stuff as you're playing in there while you're hitting the drums. And as you're looking around the environment, if you have a chance to look, because obviously you're playing drums, doesn't give you a lot, but if you look around, your walls all have cracks on it, like you're really in this environment. Again, they just did a lot more with the environment with both of these games that I thought, based on their videos, they were like, oh, it's just notes coming out of your wall, big deal. But no, they put some real thought into it, and the mixed reality modes are a lot cooler than I thought, and I was super happy with both of them. And then the last one we're going to talk about here is Demeo. Demeo is a board game, obviously. It's a D&D type game. And what this really shows me is I want so many board games in VR. That's what this shows me, is that playing, again, with multiple headsets in the same house, being able to play a virtual tabletop game. I love board games. You guys know that. I have over 250 board games in my collection. But being able to play these in VR or in mixed reality mode where it's actually physically on your table is an awesome experience. You could literally go into the table and you can see all these little creatures and these guys that you're controlling around the D&D board. The game's obviously been fantastic for a long time. And again, having that with local multiplayer around the room with multiple headsets and taking advantage of that spatial multiplayer stuff is awesome in this game. And it really makes me excited to see what other board games we may get in mixed reality going forward, because I would love to see a bunch of board games come into VR. Have a VR mode, because that's an awesome experience too, don't get me wrong. And then have a mixed reality mode, so you have the option of doing both whenever you want to, and it's awesome. So guys, that is all the games I wanted to talk to you guys about mixed reality, and I wanted to wrap up my thoughts here on my review of mixed reality on the Quest 3 so far, and it's probably not a surprise considering everything I just talked about that I'm super impressed, and way more impressed than when I initially got the Quest 3, what I thought I was getting into, because of games like some of the Amigo and some of the other ones that kind of were portrayed before as just things coming out of your wall, but it's a lot more than that, and a lot cooler than I expected. The home invasion game, like I was talking about the zombies coming out of your wall and stuff, I didn't think it was going to be this good. I didn't think that the depth sensor was really going to plant these devices and there was going to be no issues. Like I said, walking underneath objects or looking underneath and the objects actually stays in the physical space that it's supposed to be in and doesn't jitter around or do anything is awesome. And it works really well, and it really makes you believe that these things are really in your home. And yes, I know some people out there are like, oh, mixed reality, now it's going to turn into what it used to be when VR first came out. And like, devs are only going to concentrate on mixed reality mode, and now we're going to get left behind with VR. Absolutely not. I don't know how long it will take before we get a full, like, 6-hour campaign in mixed reality, if we ever do. But I definitely see a side piece like to every game. I think developers should definitely say, hey, here's our full VR game, and here's a mixed reality mode in our VR game. And I think that's a perfect way to go. Don't always make them mini games. If you can do more than that, do it. Obviously, rhythm games are awesome because you can play the whole game that way, which is what I like doing with those now. I go back and forth. But I think, and we're just at the starting gate. This is essentially, like they said, this is mixed reality mode, but it's like a new entire genre of things that we can do now and with our headsets that is almost like setting back 5 years and starting at that starting gate again for mixed reality apps and games, which is awesome because we got something exciting to look forward to. This is just the devs getting their hands on it right now. We don't know what the future holds. We don't know, are we going to get full-on games on this thing? Are developers going to get even more creative and make even more exciting experiences than one we've seen so far? I'm obviously excited for it, and I can't wait to see, as this technology evolves. The only thing that can get better is basically the quality of pass-through, because the more quality that you get out of pass-through, the more lifelike this thing is going to feel like you're in your room, because you still look like you're looking through a camera feed when you see pass-through. So I can imagine things like the Apple Vision Pro when it does stuff like this, since the quality of that pass-through from what I hear is like way better than what we have on this, obviously. Imagine mixed reality on that, where the environment looks much clearer, and then you also have the mixed reality objects on top of it. So exciting times ahead. And again, we're just at the starting gates of the stuff. I'm definitely not worried about developers all of a sudden only caring about mixed reality. I doubt that's going to happen. I think we'll see a lot more. I would say 9 out of 10 times we're going to see apps come out with their regular full VR mode like everyone wants, and then a side mode to mixed reality, or a mode on top of it that lets you play either way, whether it's VR or MR, whichever way you want to play, or additional modes, or whatever the case may be, which is only beneficial for us. We get more things to play with and more cool stuff to play with. But at the end of this video, mixed reality is awesome. I think you guys should definitely try it, and you guys are going to have a lot of fun with some of the games that I mentioned here, or whatever else you guys are exploring out there. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and I'm super happy with it, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. I can't wait to see what future games comes out. I know Ghostbusters this week is going to have a mixed reality mode as well. I can't wait to see what that's like. And I'm excited for the future of mixed reality, and we're just at the starting gate, and the power of this hardware. And yeah, it made me way more excited to get an Apple Vision Pro, to be honest, to see what that mixed reality can do with the power of that, headset and stuff, as far as the pass-through quality. But either way, the stuff I see on the Quest 3 is so much fun. So guys, if you guys have anything that you guys want to ask about in this video that you guys have seen, as always, leave those questions down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.